The film that we are going to talk about today is We Need to Talk About Kevin. I think that this is a good film to analyze because it really pertains to the serial killer module, and because it goes through the different stages of his life. It starts from when he's a baby all the way to a point in high school. It shows how he grew up as well as the behaviors he had even starting when he was little. And I think that will be good to analyze because at the end of the film we find out that he ended up killing a lot of people. He did a mass shooting at his school where he locked a bunch of people, or the whole school, in an auditorium during a pep rally, I believe it was. And then he shot them with a bow and arrow. And then he also killed his whole family except for his mother. So basically he killed his father and his sister. But his relationship to his mother is very interesting to me in this film because you can't tell if he loves his mother or not. To begin with, they have a very interesting relationship starting that when they're little. For one, he was not potty trained. He would wet the bed a lot, and he needed to wear diapers even maybe 7, 8 years old. Another thing that you could see in his childhood is that he purposely would try to make his mom mad. So at the 39-minute mark of the movie, he goes into his mom's room and she has this room of maps everywhere because she likes to travel, and he tells her that it is stupid, and then she comes back to it and it's ruined. So off the bat he's doing these things to make his mother mad. And then even when he was a baby, she always had very little patience with him. She thought he cried too much, or he thought he was too quiet, and she would always think that he did things just out of spite, and so she always felt very hesitant towards him, as in, I don't know why he's not normal. I don't know what's going on with him. And I think that he can begin to notice that, and that's why he tries to make her mad, because he doesn't feel like she fully loves him. He thinks that she feels like he's a little bit off. And so he'll purposely do things. For example, he'll be really mean to his mom, and then as soon as his dad gets home, he'll be super happy, and then he'll look at her right before he goes and runs and hugs and smiles to his dad. So his dad thinks that he's this nice little boy, but in his mom's eyes, he purposely does things to try to spite her and to purposely try to make her mad. So she always feels very hesitant about him. And she doesn't know why he's not normal. And then there's a part where she gets mad at him because he purposely pooped his pants because he still wasn't potty trained, so he would wear diapers when he was way past that mark. And then she got mad because he purposely pooped his pants, and then she was putting him up on the diaper changing station, and then he fell, and then he hurt his elbow. But he told his dad that what happened was he was running in the playroom and then he fell. So, and then while he tells his father this, he's looking the mom directly in the eyes and kind of telling her, I'm saving you this time, so you better be, nicer to me. I could have told dad the truth, but I didn't. So he starts off just very manipulative, even just when he's little. I mean, why would he want to act super happy towards his dad and then be really mean to his mom and not let his dad see that other side of him because he thinks that he's a little angel? So he continues with not being potty trained. He would, when he found out learning how to use a bow and arrow with his father when he's maybe 8 years old, 9 years old. And then it transitions into his face while he's in high school. Something interesting during this part is the sound of sprinklers. Every time it sounds like there's a sound of sprinklers, I think that is foreshadowing, because in the end, when the mom finds the dead family, there are the sound of sprinklers. So it shows this scene of him using the bow and arrow and also plays the sound of sprinklers. And I think that he's in his mind already thinking of something that he's going to do that's, bad. They go out together and they go on a little date together when he's older. So they go and play golf, and then she says that they're going to go somewhere to eat dinner. But then when they're at home getting ready to go out for dinner, he's eating something for dinner. And she said, but I thought we're going out to get dinner. He said, oh, well, I was hungry. And he has this smug look on his face. So then at the restaurant, she is the only one eating because he didn't want to wait and eat with her after having a good time at golf. Afterwards, when they're at the restaurant, he starts kind of scolding his mom because she has to drink wine, saying, oh, this must be such a nice dinner with Kevin. We should do this more. I wonder why we don't talk anymore. And he just goes back to making her feel happy and then making her really upset, just completely toying with her emotions. Of Kevin, that he was going to do something bad was that he liked to harm animals, just like Jeffrey Dahmer, just like Ed Kemper. They all like to harm animals when they're little. And so in the film, his little sister gets a guinea pig and she loves the guinea pig, but Kevin decides to kill it and put it down the garbage disposal. So he has no problem in killing an innocent animal, and he purposely does it because he knows that it'll upset his sister because she loved it so much. And it's just the fact that he was okay with taking that life, that life that was loved by someone, which is killers. And so in all of them, they always have this kind of built-up anger. And so I think Kevin starts to feel this built-up anger against his mom, that she just doesn't love him, or she does not think that he's normal. He's basically the one that was responsible for an injury occurring to his little sister's eye, in which she has to get a glass eye. And then there just so happened to be that the drain disposal that you put down the drain to make everything break down, it got into her eye, so she has to get a glass eye, and then Kevin did that. So then the mom started feeling very protective over her. Why didn't he kill his mom? Was it out of spite? Was it because he hated her so much that he wanted her to suffer more? Or was it because he loved her and he didn't want to kill her? At the end, he's on I think it's the 2nd year anniversary of the day where he did those events. And she asks him why he did it, and he says, at the time I knew, but I'm not so sure anymore. And then she hugs him, and at that point, we still don't know, is he doing that to mess with his mom's mind as manipulation, or is he genuinely thinking that? Has he really changed? He now knows what's wrong with his actions. And throughout the movie, I mean, I don't think that people that kill are insane because they don't know what right from wrong. I think they do know right from wrong. Even if they didn't know right from wrong, then they wouldn't be scared to do it and have those consequences. But he purposely did it because it was wrong. I guess his signature for that would be his with the bow and arrow, which he was taught from when he was little. He was reading the Robin Hood story with his mom when he was cuddling with her, and then told his dad to leave, then was mean to her the next day. It was a Robin Hood story, and then his dad got him a bow and arrow. And then that's when he started using the bow and arrow and practicing and got really good at it. And in the end, that's how he killed everyone. So I think this is a really good, strong example of just being able to analyze or just look at the signs from when someone is little, that they're going to do something that might result in people dying and them going out and killing people, because there are those common signs that were very common. I mean, among, like I said, Ed Kemper and Jeffrey Dahmer, they like to hurt animals. And then just his constant manipulation against his mom and his parents. Also, pulling from lecture 4, Kevin would be classified as an organized serial killer. So an organized serial killer, for the perpetrator plans the murder for months or years beforehand. Kevin did plan this event beforehand because he did order all of those locks. And then also before the day that he was going into school, his mom had asked him if he was feeling okay because he seemed a little bit clammy, and then she felt his forehead because he seemed like he was a little bit stressed out. Later on that day, he does go ahead and kill everyone. So he does know between wrong and right because he was anxious to do it. He knew it wasn't a good thing to do. He knew it wasn't the right thing to do, and he went ahead and did it, and therefore he was nervous about it. In this case, for the psychological type of killer that Kevin is, I would classify him as a power oriented because he liked being in control and he liked watching the people suffer. He liked being in control of his mom. He's not mission oriented or visionary. He's not hallucinating, and he doesn't get any sexual satisfaction from it, from what the movie displays, and it's not for comfort or discipline. So I believe that Kevin would fall underneath the power oriented type. So today we need to talk about Kevin and, kind of understanding the evil behind him and him being a killer. So the evil behind murder.